Middlesex cruised to a 10-wicket win over Nottinghamshire at Lord's thanks to a stunning spell of bowling on the final morning from Tim Murtagh and a rapid 50 from their captain Chris Rogers. Nottinghamshire were very much up against it as the last day began with them on 184 for 5, just 71 runs ahead. They needed a big contribution from Chris Reed, but with his second ball of the morning, Murtagh found the edge of the visiting captain's bat and he was gone for 44 after adding only a single to his overnight score. Murtagh also had Ricky Vessels caught off a slog before James Harris found some bounce to catch the edge of Peter Siddle's bat. A superb Yorker from Murtagh then did for Andy Carter to give the bowler his 5th success of the innings. And that innings was all over after just 70 minutes of play when Stephen Finn took his tally of wickets to 15 in 3 innings this summer by having Luke Fletcher caught by John Simpson as he tried to smash the ball into next week. Nottinghamshire had been dismissed for 224, Murtagh taking 5 for 61, and that gave Middlesex a target of 112 to fully put their innings defeat to Sussex last week behind them. The visitors simply had to get some early wickets, but instead they spent most of their time fetching the ball back from the boundary as Rogers decided to get the job done very quickly. He played some blinding shots, pulling with power to anything banged in short and driving with authority if the ball was pitched up. In no time at all, any thought that Notts may have had of pulling off a surprising win had gone. Sam Robson didn't quite match his partner, but he too played some exquisite shots. In doing so, he took his tally of runs for this match to beyond 200, many of which were amassed courtesy of his square cut, a shot he employs quite brilliantly. All of the Notts attack were expensive as Middlesex were racing towards their target, Robson's first innings 100 being so important in their eventual victory. Rogers required only 44 balls for his 50 and he celebrated it by taking 3 fours off a Harry Gurney over. He would have been thrilled with his side's response to their efforts in Hove last week. This had been a thoroughly professional performance from Middlesex throughout, and this was an ideal way for them to start their home campaign in their 150th year. It took them only 18.2 overs to get the 112 runs they required, the game coming to an end with a Rogers boundary shortly after lunch. He ended on 63 from only 50 balls, while Robson added an undefeated 41 to his first innings 163. In the end, it was all rather easy for Middlesex against a Nottinghamshire team which was not at its best throughout this contest. The margin of victory then was 10 wickets, and that gave Middlesex a haul of 23 points to Nottinghamshire's 4. Both teams miss out in the next round of fixtures. Time for the visitors to lick their wounds and for Middlesex to congratulate themselves on a job very well done.